Hey guys, welcome back. The rusty door is no more, and today I start doing the bodywork. But first, I need to sand off the old bodywork and old paint. Hey guys, so if you're new to my channel, I'm in the process of restoring my 79 Trans Am. So far I've done some rust repair, redone the dash, did some fiberglass repair in the shaker, and now I'm working on the door, getting the door. I did some rust repair in the door, and now it is time to strip off all the old bodywork and old paint and get this door ready and prepped for new bodywork and new paint. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's take a look at the door and see where we're at right now and what we need to do to get this looking good again. So as you can see, there's some old bodywork on here that I need to remove. Just get rid of it so I can put new bodywork to start fresh and new, get it down to bare metal. While I'm doing that, I'll take any remaining paint that's in the way, or I shouldn't say in the way, but that's left on here. I'll just take that down. See some paint down at the bottom here and some paint up here on the top of the door, so that'll all go, and then I'll put fresh bodywork on and then fresh coat of paint, and this door will be like new again. So let's get started on the first step is sanding all this crap off. So let's get started with that. Alright, well, good thing I took off all the old bodywork because it was actually a pretty deep crease in the middle of the door that I get the stud gun that we could pull this out, and when we go to put filler back in here, might not even use very much at all, or probably very little filler, a lot less than was on there, which is a good thing. And this door will be much better shape when we're done, and look a lot better, and it'll last a lot longer. So let's take a look at what the door looks like now with all the filler removed. So here's the door, here's the crease, you can kind of see. Let's see if we can get a good angle on here. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Hang on a sec, I got something we can take a look at that crease better with. Alright, here we go, it's a little better now. You can see with this gauge on here, this is shaped to the section of the door back here. So if we go back here, see, it's nice and flush to the surface. Actually, right there. And as we move closer, you can start to see that gap. Yeah, it's a pretty big gap there. You can see. And we'll just go along here, along the door. So you can see the crease is pretty significant, and I think we can address that. And I'm gonna pull that out. Yeah, you can see it gets deep and then it goes away. So you can kind of see that crease area there. Yeah, so you can see the crease. I'm gonna take care of that, bring that back up as close to what it should be, matching with the gauge, and we'll kind of can give us idea how close we are, and then minimal body work to get that door straightened out, and this will be nice and straight as an arrow. So that's what I'm gonna get on to next, and let's start pulling the dent out. Well, that was fun and tiring. There's a lot of work in pulling all the, pulling each one of these, and we're pulling up the dent. But it's looking much better. Next step now is to remove all of these studs that I welded on, and then weld new studs in between these to raise up those low spots. And then that should bring the whole area back up to we're at least close to where it was originally from the factory. So minimal filler will then be need to be applied to make it perfect and straight. So much less than what was on there. I removed quite a bit of filler that was on there because it was a pretty deep crease that I pulled out. So let's get back to working and see what we get. So there we have it. It's almost perfect. It looks great, a whole lot better than it did, and now it is ready for finished bodywork, which is good, which is nice. That's what I wanted to do. Much better. We'll just have to put a little skim coat of body filler on here, but basically this is a vast improvement over what it was before. And a couple of high spots here and there from pulling, but I think those might be, well, you can just tap those out. I'll run some guide coat and sand over it and see what's actually a high spot and what's really not a high, what's a low spot, and we'll work from there. But overall it looks really good. So on to the next step, and that is to put some guide coat on here and check for any high spots before we start putting filler on. So let's get working on that. Alright, so not bad. I only found 2 high spots in the panel. The rest, a couple of low spots, but not too bad. Not too many low spots. It's not low enough to warrant the hassle of welding on new studs and pulling. It's just going to be very minimal filler, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Overall, it's good. I just have to knock down the high spot with a hammer and move on to putting filler on. So exciting. This is door's almost done. Still a lot more work after that though. A lot of sanding, and but we'll get to that. Hey guys, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of sanding. But the final result is going to give me a beautiful finished door. But the sanding's not over yet. There's still more sanding to come, because the next step is to put epoxy primer and then high build primer on here. And you guessed it, sanding down the high build primer, which hopefully, if we did the filler right, we shouldn't have much sanding to do and shouldn't have much work with the filler primer. As you saw in the video, after I did the repair of the dented area, the part that I pulled the dent out and put some filler over that area, I then went ahead and put filler across the whole door and then sanded out a whole door down, giving me a nice, straight, smooth, flat surface. So the result is going to be a great paint job when we're done. So let's take a look, see what the door looks like. It may look like there's a lot of filler on there, but there really isn't. It's actually pretty thin, and you can see through it in areas. So let's take a look, see what it looks like, and let's go from there. So, alright, as you can see, in certain places, like right here, you can see the paint coming through, some of the metal coming through here. This filler, the filler that's over the paint, that's a glaze that can be applied over paint. So that's what was done there. That's why I didn't sand the paint all the way down. There's no reason to. This factory original paint. It's bonded on really well. There's no chips, rust, or anything behind that, so I just left it alone and just used the glazing compound over that area. Pretty much this whole side was just done with glazing compound. And it's, again, like I said, it's paper thin. There isn't really a whole lot on there. It's just on there enough to make it nice and smooth, straight panel. But yeah, that's what we got. A nice straight door. It's ready for paint. But before I can do that, I need to clean up that. Yes, that is the residue, the remnants of all sanding I did. There's a lot of dirt down there. There's a lot of filler, probably more filler on the ground than there is on the door. And I need to clean that up because I don't want any of that getting into my paint. So, and it's pretty much everywhere in my garage, and it's all over everything. So I'm gonna have to give the garage a deep, thorough cleaning, and then put the paint on this. Then I can move on to doing the rest of the body of the car. I got to do the driver's side quarter panel, the passenger side quarter panel, and driver's side fender. The passenger door and the passenger fender had been done a long time ago, a few years ago. I had done those, and just so I don't have to do those, thank goodness. Actually, I think the trunk light I did as well, so another panel I'll have to do. So the trunk, so it's really just the two quarter panels and the front fender that are left. So a couple more weeks of doing that, and then the whole car should be ready for paint at that point. So I'm hoping it's only a few more weeks left of this work unless I find more problems, which, as I found when I took the door off, I found more problems. So I'm not holding my breath that I won't find more problems anywhere else, but crossing fingers. So anyways, that's all I got for this week. Stay tuned. We'll get on the next project soon. So take care.